Welcome back to another episode of the Safeties Off Show. Episode like 23 or something. I don't know.
That sounds right.
We've been grinding, man. We've only missed 1 week.
I know.
In the past 24 weeks, we missed one. So we've been killing it.
Really
we appreciate everybody watching, listening, especially to the last one when I confessed to missing a deer. It means a lot. The 2 text messages I got saying, hey, man, you're going to be okay, that means a lot.
You know, I had a mutual friend of ours call me today, and I got to call him out for not being a true fan because he said, I said, man, I just can't believe Tyler was too scared to admit that he missed a deer on air. And I was like, you clearly did not listen to the last podcast because
I said it.
We discussed it at length.
Yeah, at length. So, yeah. So, I mean, just it feels good to get it off your chest, you know, get it out there. So we won't harp on it. I don't want to, you know, like they say in coaching, you don't want to lose the same game twice. I don't want to miss the same deer twice. It's over. So let's get to some ad reads when we get to the show. I'm going to go first today. We're going to switch up the order. First one, Trip Tech. I'm holding the Trip Tech. It's a 5-in-1 multi-tool. Works as a punch. Use it to unscrew choke tubes. Upland hunters can even use it to distinguish between mature juvenile birds. It's awesome. Everybody needs one on their lanyard. If you don't have a finisher, go ahead and get you a Trip Tech, TRIPTIK.
You got hung up there for a second?
Did I? No. Go ahead.
I'm going to read Dirty Duck. Years ago, a passion and legacy was created over common obsession for the wild pursuit of waterfowl. This evolved into a coffee and apparel brand called Dirty Duck. I've replaced the coffee I've been drinking for years now with Dirty Duck. It is the easiest ad read of all time because the coffee is awesome and their gear is great too. Check them out and use promo code KCOO as in orangutan.
Oxford.
No, that's next week. KCO15 for 15% off your entire purchase.
All right, let's get to the show.
Let's get it.
Bro, I almost coughed out.
You got that heater on full blast. You got all the windows down, and you're just you're such a.
Yeah, how was your Thanksgiving, Jordan?
My Thanksgiving was pretty good. You know, we've got like multiple divorces and all that, so we have multiple every holiday.
Yes.
So several Thanksgivings were enjoyed, indulged. Good, man. Ate way too much food.
Eat way too much food. Got to hunt a little bit. Had a lot of rain on Friday, Saturday here in North Louisiana. So I
wasn't in North Louisiana. I was in Galveston, Texas.
That is true. You've been on a little rut vacation.
Yeah, I did.
No, that's not good. It wasn't the greatest decision, but hey,
yeah,
it happens.
That you know, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes never hunt the rut again.
That is true. That's exactly how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Marriage and then children. Dude, I thought it was so funny today. So I have a 7-month-old, and like she's kind of now like really learning things and like a lot of milestones. Like every day, like something might happen new, right? Mm-hmm. So she was taking a bath and I was in the bathroom while she was in the tub, and I said bye bye, like waved at her bye bye, and she just picked up her hand and like I don't think she was really saying bye to all those baby people.
She could totally
she
be
might have been
saying
saying bye, but like she did like this. I was like, oh my gosh, is she saying bye? And instantly went back to like biting the seat she was in. And I'm like, so it's like in a split second, I'm like, all right, my kid might be the smartest kid of all time. She already knows to say hi and bye. And she bites the chair she sits in. So just like that.
Hey, there's a lot of window lickers that grew up to be successful business people, okay?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Alex Stewart on Instagram says, I want some free stuff. So do I. So if you got any free stuff, people, maybe hit up me and Alex. That's A Stewart 44 on Instagram. And then Cameron Robbins said he got him a small doe on Thanksgiving. First off, you never say small doe.
Just doe.
Doe.
We don't doe shame either on this show.
No, we don't doe. We are doe slayers. We have stickers.
Slayers.
Oh, yeah. Cameron.
Well,
message me.
Technically
not a doe slayer this year.
No.
Cameron, message me if you're still watching, and I'll send you one of these stickers, doe slayer stickers.
Heck yeah. With a personalized note from yours
With
truly.
a personalized handwritten note thanking you. No big deal from me. No, that's one thing my pawpaw says is no matter what size the doe is, if he shoots it, that's a good doe. That's a good size doe. It may be a yearling doe. It may be the fattest doe you've ever seen. That's a pretty good size doe.
Eating size.
And especially, and I love my pawpaw, love him to death. But he's a typical hunter, like a typical guy. He misses a buck, and it's like the second you know that he missed, or he knows he missed, that dude was big. That's a big old deer. That's a big old deer. I mean, it was a good sized deer, and I mean, there you go. That's every hunter.
Well, that's like, so I've been off my lease a couple times now, and every time I go as a guest, I see a shooter.
Yes,
that's just always. So the president, I was in like a group text when I went the other day to kill a doe. And I was like, I got a shooter in here. There's like every single time you go when you can't kill a buck, it's a shooter. He was not.
If you hunt somebody else's lease, just tell them you saw a shooter
every time.
It depends on if you want on the lease or not. If you want on the lease, you say you saw nothing, and then at the end of the year, you're like, dude, lease seems to suck, but
it's garbage.
I'll get on it, you know. Kendall Jackson said the does are never small. You're right, my boy. Does are never small.
What do
does
I say?
Eat too.
If it ain't got spots, it goes in the pots.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't matter.
And if it does have spots, you just rub it on the ground a little bit on the way out. You just drag it on both sides.
Some dirt on
roll
it, Coach.
tide. Yeah.
Yep.
That's tough because my uncle's a game warden. Hope he didn't listen to that last little bit there.
Your uncle.
Yeah. I did want to tell you something I thought was pretty interesting. So I got to go down to beautiful Castro, Louisiana, and see my kinfolk Sunday. And my uncle is the captain game warden in Northwest Louisiana. So anytime I have a question, I ask him.
Flex.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a great resource. I mean, just a great resource to have. And he's super cool about it because I'm sure sometimes I ask questions and they're dumb. He's probably like, this is a dumb question. So being a duck hunter, I kind of always thought that public water is public water. Public water, you hunt, you do whatever you want. But let's say you hunt, our whole Instagram stuff was named after Kepler Lake because that was the first place that me and Jacob and these guys hunted together, yada, yada, yada. So let's say Kepler Lake floods, and it floods up into people's yards or onto people's land and stuff like that, or maybe there was like an oak bottom next to the lake and it floods that oak bottom and then just ducks are piled up in there and you want to hunt it. I was under the impression as long as, and now saying it out loud kind of sounds dumb, but I was under the impression that as long as I was still on public water in my boat, I was fine. Were you under the same impression?
That was my understanding.
Okay, I'm about to rock your world.
Well, go ahead. I'll explain why.
Okay, so, here's the actuality thing. You would have to go and see if when they drew the lakes like parameters, and I'm going to say, I'm saying this all wrong, I know, and he told me all these big, nice words, before. But, like, if you go to, LDWF for us, Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, LDWF.com, and you look up, Kepler Lake, like where it should be, where the actual public land is there with the water.
It has to be within the boundary.
It has to be within that boundary. If it is outside of that boundary, then that is that person's water. That is that person's land, whatever. You cannot go and hunt that. He made a great point. Are you ready for this? He said,
that makes sense.
I mean, it does make sense. He goes, let's say that water floods and it floods into your house. Can I drive my boat through into your carport and just hang out? Can I drive my carport through your living room? Because I'm still on public water and I'm on your land. I just happen to be underneath a covering. Can I just drive my boat up into your carport and just hang out and do whatever? No. I can't fish up against your, in your living room. I can't do anything like that. Same thing if you have a public road that goes through your lease. That's a public road, but they cannot hunt on that public road.
But I mean, what about, so when the river floods and you have access to all these private oxbows, people fish them all the time because they can, I guess the river was there originally.
The river was, most likely the river was there. And I thought the same thing because I got some buddies that hunt Red River, and right off the launch, if you just basically launch, I'm about to tell a secret little spot here because I never go and I don't care. It's at the marina in Elm Grove.
Our listeners are in Canada anyway. So
yeah, in Canada. We had Canadian listeners last time. So if you launch the boat at Elm Grove on the river and you just basically go beeline for the woods, you don't go on the channel. You just putt through the woods, go past a small island. There's a little like a little thing of water in there. And when it floods, those ducks just pile up in there, and it is kind of like public land, but not public land, whatever. But I think that might be within the parameters of the original drawings and draw up of the.
So maybe that's the answer. So that's why I was confused because, again, same property, the lease. It's right next to a WMA. It's actually not WMA. It's a federal refuge, and there is a lake on it, and half the original lake is private, and there's a dam. And then it floods over the dam into the woods and fills the original lake. So now bear with me. So the dam, and then for like 200 yards past the dam into the woods is private, and then the refuge starts. So my question to the guy was, because like that's the closest access you can get to that side. Otherwise, you got to go miles to the other end and walk all the way back.
You just
to that property line. I said, can I not put in on the dam, which is public,
right,
and float through the private property into the refuge? And the game warden's answer to me was that yes, as long as the water was high enough to where I did not touch dirt and I didn't get out of the boat or stop there, as long as I'm in the water, it's fine. But maybe that's the original lake, and that's why that's okay.
Yeah, and they own the land that butts up to where that was.
Right. So so it's like dam, private land,
like
public.
The answer to this, the best bet is if you think you shouldn't hunt somewhere, don't hunt there. Mm-hmm. And the reason I asked is because we now have access to some family land that runs across a lake or runs adjacent to a lake in North Louisiana, and when that lake does flood, it's going to flood this property, and it is jam up duck hunting. Like, I can basically plant this area, I think, within the summer, wait till it floods, and go hunt it. And I didn't want to do all this work, and then it flood, and there be two boats in there, or be a boat in there.
Right.
And because I was about to go out there and make a barbed wire fence from my feet, my ankles, to as far as I could reach on an 8-foot ladder. So
are you good?
Do whatever you want. You just don't want to I don't want to hurt nobody, but I want to make sure that,
a string of piano wire. I mean, you're putting a fence.
Exactly. I don't want to cut anybody's throat. But what I want to do is make sure that they see that, and it's just filled with posted signs. I spray paint it yellow for all I care. Mm-hmm. Like, look, dude, you don't come in here. Don't do it. So that was my question. But I kind of was always under the impression like public water went to private land, public water trumped private land.
That was what I thought, but I guess all the cases of that I had in my head, like oxbows, are that way because of the boundaries.
Oh, while we're just talking about this.
Okay.
Did you have something you wanted to talk about?
No.
Because I'm fired up about this right now, about public water. And
fired up.
I hope one guy specifically is on this Instagram Live listening to this right now because he feels the same way. Get to Instagram real quick. Kendall Jackson said, make sure you always tell that big fish story, in this case the big doe story. You dang right. Cameron Robbins says, what's the biggest buck you've killed? Not as big as yours, probably, bub. Not as big as yours. Anyway, so we grew up hunting a lake, duck hunting.
Well, you're not gonna answer? What's the biggest buck you've killed?
Oh, it's not big enough to talk about.
That's not the question.
Yeah, it's not. It's so big. It's so small. I don't want to talk about it.
That's okay. Hey, there's no buck shaming, man.
Oh, there is.
There is.
There 100% is.
Okay.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay. Well, I didn't ask. He asked.
He did.
Mine was about a 150 10 point.
150 10 point. Must be nice.
That was.
Didn't find it.
No, I got him. He's on my wall. That was in 2012, and that is the last rack buck that I have killed. I have passed on a lot of bucks since then. Yeah. Because at the time I was seeing a lot of deer, and I was like, if it's not as big or bigger than the one I got, I'm not going to kill it. Private land. Since then, I have sincerely shifted to just anything. Anything. I drew down on a spike the other day. I don't care. But yeah, times have gotten hard. Anyway, carry on.
Times have gotten real hard, like legitimately hard. Oh yeah, so public water. I don't think we ever talked about this. So I have a blind on a lake here, kind of local, on public water. I had to go to the lake commission. This was years ago. Had to go to this guy's house, and he was like, "Here's some spots where this is all the spots we're going to ever give duck hunting on this lake. Never going to create any more. We still have X amount of openings, and it's $20 a year for the right to have that, to have your blind there. I've got to pay this lake commission $20 a year. If I go out there and build this blind and then I don't pay this $20, anyone can hunt it. Okay. The blind is on public water. This I can't stress that enough. It is public water. And I built a permanent blind there. Like, jabbed the 4x4s in the ground. It is a huge blind. It's a piece of crap now because I tore it all down because we had basically a tornado came through, ripped off the roof and all this craziness, and we were going to redo it, and then we just kind of stopped because it's just a lot of work and wasn't enough ducks and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But every year I still pay the $20. Past 2 years I paid the $20. I ain't hunted it in 2 years. So I asked my uncle, I said, they told me when I pay this $20, it's mine, but if I don't, it's somebody else's. But then they also tell you if you pay $20 and somebody's in your blind, they'll come out. The game warden will come out there and get them out of it because you paid that $20 and that's yours.
I'm waiting for the
false. Yeah. All of it is false. I try not to yell in the mic. Sorry. I get so fired up. Like every September, I get this. Somebody tells me to pay the $20. It ain't his fault. He's having to take the money. First off, I'm not mad at him. I'm just upset that this is even a thing.
I'm bamboozled.
Guess what the $20 goes to? Don't let me even get to that yet. So I asked my uncle, the game warden, I said, "Hey, I want to clear this up with you."
Well, first off, why are you just now asking him this? He's been your uncle this whole time.
No, I've asked him this every year. We talk about it every single year.
All right.
This has been years ago. We talk about it every year in September. I mean, I get fired up at the lunch table, and we just vent about it. It's great. I mean, he just listens, right? Garrett Ewan, you get out of here. Garrett knows it. So I ask him, I pay this $20. You going to come get these people out of my blind? No. The answer is no. He's not going to call a wildlife agent to come get them out of your blind. It's public water. It is a public blind. You have no right to have that blind there. Luckily, we hunt in such a small town that, like, I know everyone around my blind. I got some buddies on the lake.
It's understood that it's your spot.
It's understood that it was mine. I worked my butt
that's
off.
How most of the lakes are around here. It's
right.
Like, that's been their spot for 20 years. They'll shoot you if you go in there kind of thing.
Correct.
But,
and like you can put a lot, like the river's cutthroat. Red River's cutthroat.
Yeah.
If you hear the stories all the time. You put a blind out there.
well, they'll burn it down.
People will burn it down.
Yeah.
And they'll build one right next to it and be like, "Oh, I don't know who burned it down." You hear that story all the time.
While they're
and like
flicking matches.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I don't know." They're like throwing their gas can out in the water. Yeah. Like, one guy told me, "You can put a lock on blind if you want. It's only going to keep the honest man out." The guy who really wants it, who would have done anything anyways.
That's the case with any lock.
Right, you're right. He just cut the lock and he's going to hunt it or do whatever he wants.
You remember that sidebar? You remember that video of the guy on Catahoula Lake with the chainsaw a couple years ago? Yeah, that's how crazy we get around here about our duck blinds.
And it ain't that great.
Well, Catahoula's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's private. Yeah,
but no, it's not. Well, it is now.
It is now.
It wasn't then though.
Right. Yeah. So the best thing though about this story is Cameron Robbins said he tried to message me on Instagram, but I can't. I'll fix that, dude. Best thing about this story is that the $20 that everybody gets goes to restocking the entire lake. You know how many blinds are on this place? Like 10.
So you
it's like $200.
You get about
$200.
50 little crappie.
You get
fries.
you can get like just about 100 shad and 3 or 4 bass, and y'all get after it. Like that it always makes me mad, and like I sit there and vent to buddies about it that have blinds out there, and some people don't pay it. Some people don't pay the $20, but I don't live there anymore, so it's like I pay the $20 to kind of almost have like peace of mind, like, all right, man, in writing, I have you telling me this, and this for this freaking $20.
Yeah.
So that, let's say if one day I moved closer or I just got a wild hair and I was like, I'm going to brush it and hunt it. I hear there's a bunch of ducks out there. I'm going to brush it this week and we're going to hunt it Saturday. I can go out there be confident nobody's there. Now, I will say I tried to lease my blind this past year. And what do I got to lose? I tried to lease it, and dude didn't bite. So we'll see. But I mean, if somebody wants it bad enough, they can lease it. I'm never giving up the spot. Like,
well, apparently it's not your spot to give up.
Correct. But to these old group of dudes, it is.
Yeah.
So, and they'll take it. I don't understand late commissions. I think it's the weirdest thing of all time. It's like not a public appointed thing, and then it's over public stuff. Like, it's not like I elected the commission. I didn't elect anybody to it, but they're still over public property. But that seems kind of fishy. Like, they're not is there a background check?
Oh, no.
There's no. Right?
Our mutual friend, other Tyler, that lives in Benton, he complains about the same thing, lives on the lake, and that's all they do is make up rules and then go enforce them and give fines, but like they're not an official.
It's like if your HOA gives you a fine almost.
Right.
HOA gives you a fine. It's like, bro, this is my thing.
Or it's like one of those private entity parking tickets. Like,
yes.
What are you going to do? Okay, I'm not going to pay it. What are you going to do?
Yeah, well, what are we doing here? I guess HOA can do some stuff sometimes if you sign paperwork, but like in my neighborhood, you were supposed to sign one and they just forgot to give it to me. Not an HOA, but like a thing saying like I wouldn't have chickens in my backyard or something like that.
Go get chickens.
Yeah, they forgot. I can get some chickens. I mean, I'll never do all that stupid, not stupid stuff, but all that crazy stuff. But it is nuts. We got off on a crazy tangent there. We went from Thanksgiving to duck hunting, but I felt like that was a good story to tell because.
Okay, that reminds me. I did have a Thanksgiving question.
Let's hear it.
Are you a food mixer or a food separator? My wife and I have this debate.
My wife is a food separator. Very
Sounds
much
like
so
you're a
separator.
food mixer.
I'm not.
Like, my wife makes a dadgum KFC bowl out of her entire Thanksgiving
No, I don't
meal.
like that.
Like, she puts everything together.
No, I do that.
That's disgusting.
This is real weird, but I like to let's say I'm eating steak. A steak, too. That's a terrible. Let's say I'm grilled chicken, all right? I'll get a little grilled chicken. First, let's be for real.
In your mashed potatoes.
A few noodles of mac and cheese, a little grilled chicken, a little green bean, all in one bite.
That's gross.
But I'm not a freak. I don't stir it up and put it all in a plump.
I wouldn't, but no, I don't even like my stuff touching. Like, I want individual flavors. Matter of fact, my mother-in-law, bless her heart, I love her for this, bought those kitty, section plates.
For you?
This year, just for me, because I don't like my food touching.
We have those same ones. They're actually throwaway, I think, but yeah, every year. Yeah, I don't really care. I don't like to look at it all mashed up.
I don't want to taste it all.
I don't like anything good enough.
I eat all of one thing and then I move to the next.
Oh,
so
I
want all one flavor and then all one.
I like
flavor.
it all portioned. I want on my last bite. I want to be done. Does that make any sense? I want to be done with everything.
Isn't everybody done with their last bite?
Okay, that was real dumb. I want to be done with everything on my plate with my last bite. I'm really showing how dumb I am.
Isn't everybody done with everything on their plate with their last bite?
I mean, when you say it like that, I want there to be.
I'm trying to see where we're going here.
I want to equally portion everything out to where I have equal bites of everything.
So your last bite. Okay,
my last bite is my last of everything.
I got you. So you have a little bit of everything on your last bite.
Right. I don't put everything on my plate. Eat everything one at a time. I'm done with the mashed potatoes, but 5 minutes ago I was done with the turkey.
That's how I am. In fact, I do.
I'm losing brain cells talking about this.
I do meat for I didn't know we were going to go this deep. I just wanted to know if you mix it or not.
No, you should know. I'm in a deep. We're getting deep.
I go meat first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you go to the fixings.
And
that's also weird.
I go meat first, and then you
got somebody agreeing with you.
Yes.
He agrees with you.
Who?
My boy Cameron.
Cameron, you're my new best friend. So
he's the best friend, Cameron.
I do. Show me where the deer are. So I go meat first, and then I'll usually go veggies, get them out of the way, and then I'll kind of from there. It's like a priority thing, like worst to best. So my last thing I eat is the best thing on my plate. If it's mac and cheese, that's the last thing I eat, whatever it is.
Mac and cheese is the last.
Well,
thing?
I'm just saying whatever the best thing on my plate at that time is, like that's the last thing I eat. So like that's my last savoring bite.
I mean,
sometimes it's mac and cheese. My mama's mac and cheese was worth the wait.
Slaps, as the kids say.
Slaps. I don't get that one.
You ever heard that?
And bussin'. What is that?
No, bussin's old. I think it's slaps now.
I know. I thought slaps was older than bussin'.
No, I don't
don't
think
know.
it's slaps.
I don't get it.
Slaps, and then just everything you just
Fire.
bet it on God.
Oh.
You just say on God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On God, boy. Just like that.
Okay.
That's what
See,
little,
well, you're way hipper than I am.
what?
'Cause
No,
you're,
it's not
you're
that I'm
with
hip.
the, you're
it's
with
that I have
the
to
youth.
hang out with
Well,
the
no, that's what I'm saying. You're with the
12 to
youth.
18-year-olds every day.
The youth of America are in your hands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cameron says, yeah, he knows what's up. He saves the best for last.
Yep. Yes.
I mean, I get that, but like,
And I want all of that. I don't want that. I don't want, if it is mac and cheese, I don't want that tainted by my cranberry sauce. I don't eat cranberry sauce, but you know what I'm saying.
right.
Like, I just want that flavor.
You don't want to disrespect like a steak with green beans.
Right. No, heck no. Green beans are the first thing to go out of the way. And I don't want the green bean juice touching anything else on my plate.
And this is a hunting podcast for all y'all that are watching on Instagram.
It's Thanksgiving
Live.
week.
It is Thanksgiving week. Well, now we're into Christmas.
And we also don't kill anything
you
on
eat the
here.
same.
So
That's right. We don't kill anything. So
we have to fill our time with other things.
and it really makes me mad every time I go hunting.
Store-bought
and
meat.
I'll text in different groups like like where they're like where's Warren? What's he doing? Blah 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 blah. And I'll text back like I was in the woods. Sorry about that. And they'll say did you kill anything?
Every time.
And then I'll say no. And then they'll say oh yeah I was praying for those sweet deer.
Wow. Well, see, you're being actively, prayed against.
I'm being bullied,
sabotaged.
sabotaged.
I don't think I have any of that. I don't get it, dude. I'm not kidding. I work harder than anybody I know hunting,
Yeah.
or as hard, and get nothing. I'm like cursed, man. It's been
You're not
It's been 3
cursed.
years of dryness.
I told my uncle today, I saw last weekend, I was like, I saw 15 last weekend, man. And then I finally, right before I was about to get down to call it a weekend, I was like, oh, here's some does. I'm going to shoot at them. Shoot one is what I thought. And I just shot at them, yeah. But he's like, man,
Wait,
you know how
you shot and missed another one?
No, that was the last show. It's been that long.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one. I got you.
Golly.
Sorry.
Anyways, it's so hard out here for me. But anyway, so, yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like I'm seeing deer, and
I'm not even seeing deer. That's what's.
That is true.
That's
but you're
what's
hunting
miserable.
public land.
Like last year,
Yeah.
I talked about it. I put down a bunch of all-day sits, hunted my butt off, but I saw multiple deer. Like I'm hunting natural,
Right.
But like I'm where the deer are. I'm seeing natural deer meandering around all day. Loved
Right.
it. But I couldn't think it was fun. I saw 15 deer. I saw them, bedded down over here and running over here and all that. Like that's cool. This year, nothing. I saw a doe today for about 4 seconds. And she was at about 90 yards, and that's the first deer I've seen on public. That's the second deer I've seen on public all year.
So, did you clear up your story from last week, or was that 2 weeks ago? I've already forgotten.
So 2 weeks ago is when I found the buck and the guy, and I was asking
Yeah.
people's opinions on if I left it alone or not. No, I have not continued that. Would you like to?
Sure. I mean,
Would you like
I
the
know it's-
update?
Yeah.
That's actually my leaky waiter too. That whole day.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Let's hear it. Leaky waiter.
Story time. So, for those of you that don't remember or weren't listening, that episode, I think that was 2 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a new public spot, started hunting a place 3 miles back. It's as deep as you can possibly get on this property. After I hunted, went scouting, found a bunch of scrapes. Also found another guy set up, which he had left in the tree illegally. So then we had the debate on whether or not I kind of hunt on top of the guy because he was hunting illegally. Anyway, so we decided, forget that guy. I'm going to go hunt, right? That's what we talked about. So I did. But I still didn't sit right on top of him. I didn't want to fool with it. So
Yeah,
I
you
went.
did right, I thought.
I went past him quite a ways. So where I thought I was going to shortstop this deer. But let me back up. So the first time in, I walked these 3 miles. And I'm carrying like 50 pounds of crap.
Yeah.
Boots, all my
You're trying.
heavy stuff. It's the first time in, I walked. Almost died. I'm not in shape for that. So this time, I was like, okay, I'm going to ride a bike. It's a better idea. Little bipedal action.
Yeah.
No.
Still sucks.
So much worse. I thought I was in bad walking shape.
Yeah.
Biking shape is not even.
But you got there faster.
Not real well. I mean, a little.
You
But,
definitely
dude,
got
I
there
could go
faster.
like 100 yards and then I'd have to stop. It was bad. And I actually feel better about it than I would have because me and Justin rode bikes our first hunt this year, and he was about to die too, and he looks like way better shape than I am. There's something different about bikes. You're either in bike shape or you're not. My dad can ride bikes for 50 miles. He rides bikes every day. I haven't ridden a bike in 15 years.
Okay.
Anyway, okay,
That's
so
a whole nother conversation. Just go.
so
Just
I ride this
story.
bike back, almost die.
Yeah.
Finally get back
Thank
there.
God you're here.
Yeah, I made it.
Yeah.
Success story. All right, so I go sit this spot and I just randomly look over and there's this the spike just there.
Mhm.
Oh, sweet. He's a stupid little spike. He's not going to care.
I'm gonna smoke him.
Right. I was absolutely going to shoot him right in the face.
Yeah.
So like he's walking and he's got a head behind a tree and I grab my bow. And then his head goes behind the next tree and I clip in, and everything's good. But then he just immediately, I'm thinking he's about to walk under me, and he immediately just goes out into the thicket somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, crap, but I can see him rubbing on something.
Mm-hmm.
So I unclip and I pull my grunt out. This part was cool. I threw a couple contact grunts out there and immediately just beelines right at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, heck yes. I don't care if he has a spike or not. That was cool.
Yeah.
Clip back in, and he's about to come broadside, and I go to get situated in my saddle because he's like directly 180 degrees behind me. So I'm like flipped all the way around to the tree. Well, my bow cam just barely just kisses one of the buckles on my saddle and just goes tink. And I mean, he high alert right then and stopped behind a tree. I'm like, crap, I'm at full draw at this point.
Yeah. You've got a Garmin sight, so it doesn't matter how far. It could be 3 football fields away.
Well, assuming I ranged the right thing. We've already been down that road.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's behind a tree, needs to take one more step. Doesn't do it. Bugs out. I grunt. And he kind of meanders back around, never comes back in. So then I sit. That was at like 7 a.m. I sat till like noon. Nothing. Yeah.
You're trying.
Oh, I'm trying. Get down. Go scouting some more. Oh, so the guy who had the setup, his stuff wasn't there, by the way. On the way in, when I'm passing his spot, his stand's gone, his cameras are gone. I'm thinking this guy's already killed the deer. No. I go scouting after this hunt. He's moved to the other end of the road on a whole new set of scrapes. Like he's found the whole new.
He's went and found more deer.
He found a whole. No, it's the same. It's the same deer. It's just the other end of the road.
Spot.
Yeah. So anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, okay.
Sucks.
It does suck. Does suck. So I'm trying to figure out how to hunt this deer again. I've walked forever again. So anyway, I go back to the bike. Like I'm going home.
Yeah.
Get all my stuff on my back. Hop on the bike and pop the back tire. I don't know if I was on top of something. I don't know what happened. Just immediately goes flat. So then I get to push the flat tire bike.
Yes.
All the way the 3 miles out with all my crap. No deer and missed opportunity at a giant spike. He actually was a big spike. I think he was 2.
I like that.
Yeah.
He was a big spike.
He was a big spike.
He was
not a yearling. He was just bad
A
genes.
little 1x1 action.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not
a
that.
little 1x1.
1x1. When they're 2-year spikes, you call them 1x1s. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Spike's always going to be a spike. Shoot them.
That's right.
False.
Cow horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke 'em.
There's a lot of pictures that prove otherwise. But anyway, went back out today. Got tired of all the sneaking around for not any gain, so I actually rode a 4-wheeler back there today because the wind was right for it. Still didn't see anything, so forget it. That place is... He's there. I saw fresh tracks from last night, and I mean, it looks like a daggum cow. He's huge. But I don't know. I don't think he has...
Wonder how often the other guy's hunting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know if he's gone...
Yeah.
We say they don't go nocturnal, but
Right.
in this area, I don't know if he's gone nocturnal. I don't know, because this is right on the property line, so he could be 50 yards on the other side all day walking around. I don't know.
Dude, he could be further than that. This is true. This is the God's honest truth. Saturday evening, a guy, a friend of a friend, killed a nice, it was like 8 or 9 point, big deer. He killed it right at dark, like 5:20. Okay, at 3:15, that deer was on another stand at another feeder a mile away. Mm-hmm. They got a picture of him, a cell picture of him eating there. And then at 5. Now, granted, I know that's a mile in 2 hours. I get that.
Yeah, but just, I mean, they got big ranges.
Exactly.
Right.
They could have.
Yeah, and that guy probably went hunting that evening like, oh, he's right here.
Yeah.
He's right here. He didn't go far.
Exactly. I was going to grunt a few times. He's going to pop
Yeah,
out.
and he went a mile.
Nope. He went a mile, and
Yeah.
he's killed by somebody else. So, man, that sucks.
Yep.
That freaking sucks. But that's like that deer, what you're talking about. The deer could definitely be scraping in there, coming through there at night. May just be where he's at.
Yeah, and it might be
he might be somewhere
a mile
else
away during the day.
during the day. So
100%.
you just got to catch him.
I
Gotta
think
mess
all
him
the
up.
deer are somewhere else during the day. I mean, there's just no deer activity in there that I've seen. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And
Tons
then
of tracks, tons of sign, but
the old folks say they think they're bedding up closer to their feed right now. They're closer to the oaks that they're
there's
hitting
some
under.
really fresh, looks like ryegrass or something that
Yeah.
they're eating. But again, I don't know if it's at night or what because I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
But
Typical woes from us. Really nothing new. I'm glad we
That's-
could sit here and talk about Thanksgiving tonight, though, and kind of,
yeah, that was a high point.
and then me just kind of get that the public water thing out there. Just something
Yeah.
people need to know, though, because you could get in a bind.
For sure.
I mean, if the water's up, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. It's not worth it.
Ooh, there should be a rhyme for that.
The water's up. You
If the water's high, say goodbye.
sure
Ooh,
not as good as
not as good as.
not as good as the you miss last week. You
That
missed
was
church.
good.
You missed deer. You miss. That was good.
We need to make the shirt.
Need to make a shirt. So, that's it for this episode. It went kind of flew by.
That's what happens when you're having fun.
That's what happens when you're having fun. Make sure
Great time.
Make sure that you join us on Instagram next time. If you did an Instagram Live, you got like questions or whatever, you just want to hang out. Crap, if you want to be on the podcast, we'll phone you in. We'll Zoom you in.
Yes.
Just come hang. Really don't care. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening on. Please do give a 5-star rating because you love us. We are... In the future, we're going to do the Instagram Live thing for subscribers only. We got a few subscribers now. No big deal. I don't mean to brag. Bring home dollars a month.
Whole dollars.
So if you love us and you want us to keep hanging out and talking about randomness, give us $1. It's $12 a year. $1 a month
I mean, that's like,
for this prime
it's like
content.
one Papa John's pizza.
Yeah. It's like one Papa John's quality pizza.
Yeah.
2-topping pizza.
It's not even a 2-topping. It's just a 1-topping pizza, man.
And 'tis the season to give us $1.
To give the gift of dollars.
Yes, give the gift of dollars and Jesus. 'Tis the season.
Yes.
'Tis the season.
Just the
Baby, sweet baby Jesus. Go to church and subscribe to the YouTube. Have a great week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Merry Christmas.